we thank you.
X-Files is a phenomenon. You know, it's one of the special series that I worked on that I know had an extreme amount of gravitas because they had defined a new genre, actually. You know, which other series which I've worked on, like Supernatural and stuff like that, all copied in some shape, fashion, or form. And they were the leaders. And to get a credit on X-Files in the beginning was a stamp of approval. And so I'm only happy this back. I feel so bad about the fact that it's been so weird to try to get a hold of me.
You played two very different roles on the X-Files. Quagmire is one
completely different roles.
Completely different. Do you remember how you originally prepared for the Quagmire role?
The second one, or the first one?
First
I
one.
was trying to.
You can say both. Tell me both.
The first one, I was the Tooth Fairy in the first one, and I caught the gag right away, and so I looked at it and I said, okay, this is easy, you know. And a mix of sort of horror and malevolence against, you know, just being a dentist in some way, except that he uses pliers and stuff like that. But it was a really nice cameo, and I enjoyed doing it. And then they brought me back for another season. They gave me a run of the show part, you know, guest star. And that was even more great. I mean, they had me do all sorts of interesting things, and they pushed the envelope on how I usually work, and they gave me the freedom and the license to have fun.
What was it like working on the show when it was really, you know, like 1995, 1996, when the show was coming into its prime, and then coming back on a revival 25 years later, 20 something years later?
This is interesting. I mean, when I first got the part, I remember that I read for the part, and then before I drove home, there was a message letting me know that I got the part, which was incredibly fast, and I had to be taken back because X-Files had been for the longest time the premier show to try to get on, you know. And so I was happy, ecstatic, and excited to be able to do the part, even though it was a cameo. But I tend to look at these things as like, what impact does it have, not how much screen time you have. And they gave me a nice highlight in that episode. And so when they brought me back for the guest starring, it was the first time that I played a villain who had a soft spot and actually fooled the kids into believing that he was a nice guy, and then turn around and you know, double cross them at the very end. But during that short period where I was playing the nice guy, it was again that juxtapose, you know, where you could see the nice part, or either the facade of a nice part on one side, but actually it was evil all along on the other side.
Do you have a favorite memory from working on the show?
Yeah.
Or multiple?
Give me a second.
Yeah, take your time.
I work with Kim Manners.
Yep.
And he was great. He was a wonderful man, and he's passed along now, which I'm 63, it's hard for me to think about that. You know, I'm very lucky and very blessed, and I'm working like crazy on other things and everything like that. But I remember the pointers and the direction he gave me, and they were great. And I enjoyed doing that, especially the second one so much, because it gave me that range. You know, it gave me the nice guy and then the reveal of a bad guy, which, you know, for an actor is like so cool, because you get to show a lot of range, you know, and and we had a great time on the second one. We had a great time on the first one, and all I can tell you is that I was extremely lucky to get on either of them. Never, not counting being on both of them, which was very surprising. But yeah, that's what I have to say about X-Files, is that it changed and helped and supported my career.
What do you think it is about the X-Files that makes it relevant 27 years later after the pilot, that people, the next generation, are starting to appreciate it just as much as someone like myself who started watching it in 1993?
It was the first time that a team, a 1-2 team, had really tackled these forces of the supernatural, of all of the different things that they went through. It's been copied a number of times by other series afterwards, but at the time, it was the series that could do something like that. You know, I mean, I did Supernatural later on. I did 3 episodes on Supernatural, and it almost felt like I was going through deja vu, because they were using the same reveals, the same tricks, the same heightened intensity and tension that comes with this stuff, and used it to their advantage, and it was remarkable. Um, I mean, I'm always happy whether I get booked or not, but sometimes I'm a little bit happier when I get booked on certain things other than other things. You know, I mean, I'm 63. I don't need to worry about the money. What I care about is promoting, you know, the industry,
Sure.
and, and showing what Canadians can do. You know, and for the most part, you know. It's been growing and growing, not from me, but generally, that Canadians are a good group of people to work with. We're we're just like everybody else, except that we understand, I think, a little bit more clearly about helping to make the product. Sometimes other people's agenda is different. Um, and I'm not going to say, but I'm just saying that their idea of what they want to get out of it is not to build the series as much as to make sure they got paid, you know. And I would have been happy not getting paid, just to be able to do those 2 things. I'm serious. I mean, it meant that much to me. And
So it was a
oh,
good group.
David Duchovny was so nice to me. I mean, he was such a nice guy to me, and it meant a lot. They were, they were incredible. Everyone was supportive. They had, by the time I did my first episode, um, it was early on, but you can see the formation of those people. You know, all striving for this to blow people's minds out. It was something that was ahead of the game, state of the art, and pertained to their own lives in a different kind of way. And then the team up of male female brought a real balance and equalness to the whole thing, which, you know, as you know, lately females I call them actors because I give them the props. I mean, I'm not going to call them actresses. That's not true. They are actors.
Yeah.
And the way they pursued making this series so cool only paved the way for me.
I love that.
I just walked in and I got the respect and stuff like that, and people wanted me to do well, and that's when I do my best work, is when they want me to do well.
One question that we've asked everybody that we've interviewed, including cast and producers and everything, if you could say something to the fans of the X-Files over the last 27 years, what would it be?
I would say that the X-Files, if you had to draw an analogy, of me being, 63, the thing I think of most is Star Trek when it came out on TV the first time. And it was something so different. It was something so completely out of the realm. And it created all these different universes within its script. And now that I work on other series and stuff like that, I go, oh, I get it. It's the same as the X-Files, in some sort of weird way. And I knew that the work that I did on X-Files was good. And I knew that that was the precursor to a number of other episodes that have of other shows that have done really well. I mean, Supernatural, I think, just shut down, and
Yeah.
that was after 14 years, season or 13 or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so I thought that they followed that trend, they followed that template, and that's what caused them all of their success.